So I'm gonna ask the girls
Passport.
to do a little fashion show and
To show your
stand
brand.
up.
And
Do
show
you
your
that
brand.
camera, right? Oh, so
It's very hot in Bahia.
This is Rikke, very hot. She does these amazing pieces like special accessories that you can use a lot of ways and can make a look glow like
Playfulness.
playfulness. Okay, now.
Oh, wow.
Wow, go ahead. Show it.
It's a very sporty.
I love
This
this.
is the sportiest piece that we have.
Yeah. Welcome to the Set Podcast, nosso primeiro episódio em inglês. Your space for talking about sustainability,
Fashion.
innovation, and technology. So we are here in Trancoso with these two princesses, one from Dinamarca, Arisholm. She's super Brazilian, Rikke. She's been here in Trancoso as a native girl, and she makes amazing pieces from leftovers from the big brands. And she was interested in coming to Brazil to have a market here. And then we have Pauline. Pauline is from Monaco, and Pauline has a swimwear brand that is amazing. And actually, it is a little bit inspired for her mother beachwear brand that she had in the 80s, and her mother being Stephanie de Mônaco.
Yes. Welcome.
I'm Alexandra Farah, journalist.
I'm Jonathan Marques da Fonseca, entrepreneur and Alex partner. So welcome, girls.
Thank you.
You came here for the Trancoso Fashion Resort. Could you explain to us the experience about being in Trancoso?
I mean, it's amazing. It's just basically working with amazing people and opening a market in Brazil, and doing all of this in a beautiful place. So
How the experience in Bahia?
amazing. It's beautiful.
Have you been here before?
No, it's first time.
In Brazil?
No, first time in Bahia.
Oh, Bahia.
Yeah.
How about you?
First time in Brazil, first time in Bahia. Came straight here, and I love it. It's it's just love, you know. It's just love. I think really just very. Life and love, and I think that's also what I do with my brand and what I want to give to women and people, and it really comes alive here.
Good. So what are you perceiving from the market here in these couple last days?
I think for me, I love that they love the versatility and the playfulness and the joyful that the clothing have, and that you can go from one thing to the other and just take it with your day. And I think they really love it here, and that's amazing to see.
And I think this is what we have in common also, the two brands. It's very versatile and adaptable. And here, I don't know, you never know what's going to happen in your day. You go to the beach and you can end up in a party. So that's the greatest thing for our brands, because you can take it from morning to night. And I think it's just like also comfortable and light. And
And the funny thing is how open both of you were when we met back in Paris.
Oh yes,
To be here.
Yeah, to be here. It was less than 5 months ago. And we had
you asked us if we wanted to come to the beach and show our clothes. So it's like work and pleasure. It's the
pleasure
perfect
and
mix.
it's not really a hard question, you know.
No, it was a hard yes.
Yes, it was
Like,
a hard
sure.
So if you're a designer in Paris, you can talk to Jonathan.
You're gonna have
Let's do
so many people
business.
come
Let's
with
do
you.
business.
Because I don't know if you that watching us, Jonathan organized it with Luana, that's a native girl from here, Trancoso, south of Bahia. They organized the first edition of this fashion week. It's a very modern and organic fashion week, like in the middle of the natural landscapes here. It was amazing. I'm gonna put the video here. It's both of them made a fashion show, and they're selling here in Trancoso at Namix. They're gonna be selling here in Trancoso at Namix. So let's talk about sustainability.
Yes. Pauline, how does outdoor design balances gentle as aesthetics with luxury craftsmanship?
I think I found this balance between those two things because those are two important values for me and in my everyday life. So put it in my brand. It was very natural. And I think the genderlessness is because I don't like to apply a gender to clothes. I am myself very feminine and very masculine, so I wanted to have a balance between those two things. And the craftsmanship, I mean, everything is made in Paris, and I also use dead stock fabrics.
I know.
So we don't produce any fabrics, and it gives you guidelines on your creativity, which I like also a lot.
How about you?
So I also use dead stock fabrics left over, and I think it's a beautiful way of creating unique pieces. So there is like a limit of how much you put out of one, and I think both people want more of that, and it's also beautiful to create because you get. I mean, it's inspiring. At the end of the day, like creating clothes is so much about the material, how it moves in the body, the silhouette, the construction, all of it. And I think for me as a brand, it's really an important, sustainable way, because it's how do you create longevity, like garments that can last. And I think that's a really important element in it. And also choosing materials that, for example, me, I only use natural materials. So I work with cotton, silk, linen, cashmere, and I make sure that the garments are created so you can wear the design process. So basically they're beautiful inside out. So really having an emphasis on the craftsmanship and the longevity of the garments.
I'm curious to know, where do you you rescue the fabrics, the dead stock? How does it work? In Europe, has organizations where you can go and buy?
Yeah.
Or you talk, yeah.
Yeah. There's actual companies that does that now, because there's so many laws in Europe now that you can't just throw away things that you don't use.
So you have small pieces, big pieces, everything.
You have rolls of fabrics.
Yeah.
And why are they throwing away?
Because sometimes they just over order it, or they don't like the fabric anymore, or so it's it doesn't go to waste. It doesn't go to waste because we're using it.
Exactly. So it's they produce way too much for what they're actually making into garments, and those rolls, they are this becoming a whole business.
But the textile that's sent to them are the brands like Prada, Hermes. The brands or the textile companies. Both of them.
Both.
I think I'm using a company that's called Neste, and it's only all the dead stock fabrics from LVMH. So I have some fabrics from Celine, I have some fabrics from Vuitton, I have some fabrics from a lot of different brands.
And how about the one that you make the bikinis and maillots?
The bikinis are upcycled polyamide. Recycled. Yeah, of course. And we're working now we're gonna work now with a company from Spain that does a very innovative process for swimwear. It's it doesn't let any microplastic in the ocean. So that's gonna be another step of innovation in the swimwear.
Good.
Rikke, you merge cultural level craftsmanship with everyday wear. In terms of everyday culture, how do you do this?
So basically, I want women to dress, or people, honestly, to dress up again, but without feeling like they're dressing up. I feel like so what I do is I want it to be very effortless, very chic, very wearable and functional, really thinking about the function, the versatility, but still having that handmade couture, hand sew combination with the production, the more function, thinking function and versatility into the garments. So for example, I would never put pearls on where you're gonna sit. It's always, stuff like that. But I mean, couture can be all over, and you can really just stand.
No.
For me, it's really important that you can wear it every day.
So you have the techniques of couture.
For example, this is hand painted. These are handmade, but sewn. So the combo, I like to mix them.
Good.
Looks beautiful.
One of your first photo shootings was with your whole family in the picture. How was it?
It was amazing. It was fun to mix family time with working time. I think it's the first time that they saw me in my natural habitat, I would say, bossing around and
being the boss.
Exactly. And I remember one of my brothers, they told me is this your work? I was like, yeah, this is how I do all the time. We're like, wow. But it was very interesting also because coming back to altar, my whole family, we have all sorts of people. So like my grandma, who's 89, she was also wearing the clothes and the pieces. And my mom and my dad and my brothers. So it was actually very nice to be able to see that altar can fit on anyone also, you know. So it was very, very fun.
Yeah, it's
I have tall, small, all the shapes and colors.
So let's talk a little bit of the heritage, and how you came with the idea of having a brand. I mean, you lived in India.
Yeah, when I was a teenager.
Yeah. How
Yeah,
this
teenager.
your experience brought you to fashion? I mean, and what you expect from fashion? I mean, do you want to grow a lot? Do you want to be a slow fashion? You want to live in Brazil?
They became both new Brazilians.
Maybe just all of the above.
We're gonna give you the passport.
We call them the Brazilians.
Maybe just all of the above.
You want to do a reality show at the beach? the Brazilians.
Maybe less that one. No, but for me, yes, I do want to build a global fashion brand, but I wanted to do it with the everyday and the couture. Always have these two as a guideline of how. So I don't want only to. I want to keep the uniqueness, but make sure that it can be produced and use that stock. And it's why it's so beautiful that these companies have, you know, the sources. They take all these dead stocks and it's quite a lot of meters. So you can actually, you know, grow the brands, but still. For me, in the collections, I love to use, for example, denim that there's a lot of, but then also create unique pieces like these that I hand paint and they're maybe less of. So having that combination. And I think India, going back to your question about that, I think for me as a Danish girl, I think it showed me the world. And I think I never stopped after that. I love the different cultures. I love the different people. And
it opened your mind.
It opened my mind and my heart. And I think there was like no turning back from me after that. And I think for me, it's nice to combine the Scandinavian Copenhagen, which I very much am as well, with the world.
So you were an athlete before.
Yeah.
Yeah, professional athlete.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, so the swimwear are much inspired by my life as an athlete. As you can see.
So tell me about your life as an athlete.
I started gymnastics when I was very young, and then I don't know how I ended up doing springboard diving, and I did.
You're doing what?
Springboard diving. So
what?
You know,
in the
like
pool?
when you jump on the pool and do like all
no.
these crazy stuff. Yeah.
Like
We're gonna put a video.
For sure, there is pictures. There is pictures. There are pictures. And I think it taught me like discipline and how to like have a goal and like reach for it. And I think that's also what I do with my brand. I'm a very stubborn person, and when I say something, I usually do it.
So tell me something. I have to ask you this. So you are Grace Kelly.
Granddaughter.
I mean, high society. I love it. I love all the movies. And do you have pieces from that time in your?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, she's my
museum.
She's an icon and everything. But some pieces my mom kept. And I have a few pieces. I have one coat from Givenchy that I absolutely adore, but it's in my closet and never goes out of it because I'm so scared of like ruining it or something. But yeah, I do have some pieces. I think
you have Kelly bags. No. Do you wear them?
I have one.
Yeah, you have one.
But in the family, we have this thing. We have to have one.
But your mother was super sportive, right?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. She always taught us to, do a lot of sports, be outside, and so yeah.
And being in Monaco, you have a lot of water, like going.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. I mean, this also the swimwear brand and Alter. It's much inspired by the south of France, and it's, the light, and I use a lot of silk, so I think I always bring like some light in the
Rikke, could you walk us through a little bit of your history in terms of brand?
Yes. So I started it 3 years ago with a little. I wanted to see if I should go all the way. So I did a showcasing in Copenhagen Fashion Week. I made a collection of like 20 pieces, and this was like, should I do it or not? And it was so beautiful, and I started more made to order. But then in Copenhagen, I was like, no, I want to take this globally. So I found a production place in Italy, and I've been working with them. So now I do all the handmade things in Copenhagen, and I have production in Italy. And it's an amazing step to also growing the brand globally and having your supply chain, and it's fun. Yeah.
And Pauline, your mother, she once had a swimwear brand.
Yeah.
I suppose that's very different from your aesthetics. Can you explain to us a little bit of your aesthetics as a brand?
And when did you start?
So I launched the swimwear line last year in April. Yeah, because Alter is my brand since 6 years now, but I always want to do a little bit of a wink to my story and my mom, my family and everything. And I did a capsule collection of the swimwear last year. And yeah, it's going super well. And now we're doing two different brands. So Alter is going to be one brand, and Pole Position is going to be one brand.
You're going to come back with the name.
Yeah.
Pole Position.
Pole Position, exactly. And we're launching a new collection now in April. And the swimwear is much inspired by the 80s. I mean, you see color blocking, super sporty. You said my mom was very sporty, so that's much inspired by the 80s, and the super high cuts, a bit sexy, feminine. Exactly.
But you are very sexy yourself in the way that you dress up.
The Brazilians.
You're not afraid of showing it.
No, I mean I'm confident, and I think we were talking about it the other day, but I think confidence is your best outfit.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's that's how you can combine sexy chic.
Exactly.
Sexy chic with confidence.
Yeah.
You both came to Brazil to explore a new market. Do you have any plans already, besides the first step that we are taking right now? What is the next vision or the next step? What do you have in mind?
So for now you have 1 point in Trancoso.
Yeah.
See?
Okay. Nice. And then you sell online.
Yeah.
For the whole world.
Yeah. Worldwide.
Even to Brazil.
Yeah.
But in Brazil you have to buy through the mix because you don't
Yeah,
pay
yeah,
the...
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
What
It's
else?
a little bit more complicated.
I think talking for myself, I want to explore more the Brazilian market, as you said. I'm going now to Sao Paulo to also meet maybe with some boutiques, and in Rio. But
There's something new in Rio that we cannot say right now.
Yeah, we have
it's gonna get hotter.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
But it's a challenge to be in Brazil, a country with so many
but I think
swimwear brands, right?
But I think I feel like the Brazilian women and men are they very much enjoy beautiful stuff, and they're very confident also. So I think, Alter could be a very good fit for here.
Yeah, we are always in need of new.
No,
because
but
you use so much.
I've seen people here. They're also very interested in in introducing new brands, and they're very curious people. So I think both of our brands can very do well here.
So too.
So if you have a shop somewhere,
Call us. I like it. No, and even they're so beautiful together.
Yeah.
We were talking about
Yeah.
because I wear so much swimwear as bodies with the sleeves. Because it's such a chic outfit.
We have to do a combined outfit.
Oh yeah.
So do you feel that sustainable fashion is growing? Because you are from Copenhagen, the place to be when you talk about sustainability. Do you feel, for both of you, about Copenhagen? And I want to know if the customers, if they pay attention to this, or it's more from you to them, your desire. If they ask about sustainability.
I think it's very
in
much...
Copenhagen, they do?
I think it's very much both. I think
Both.
a lot of people are very focused on it and very curious about it. And I think also a lot of people want the one of a kind. They're tired of dressing up and looking the same. So I think that part customers are very aware of. And then I think there's also a lot of customers that are getting more and more curious about the production part. Where are the materials from? They're organic,
made by hand.
Made by hand. They're more and more, but I think it's also, I still think we have a great job to do about teaching them or inspiring them about the whole supply chain. So,
and both of you, do you think that the Brazilian woman could embody what you have in mind as a concept of a brand?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
we've seen it here.
Yeah. She's like in Brazil here.
No, you're having the best one right now. I know.
No, I think, as I said earlier, I think the Brazilian women can be very confident and they can embody this this vision of both of our brands. So yeah.
Yeah, but what do you think about sustainability when you do like an event or you go and you see the customers buying from you?
I think it's, as you said, I think it's a mix of things. I think it's our duty to educate people on the supply chain and where the clothes come from and everything. But I think, as you said, like it's growing, not fast enough, I think.
I don't
And we still have big brands that are not doing enough, I think, on sustainability. But
and even the communication about it. You know? Like the whole.
It's I think there's much work to do, but I think, I mean,
But
for my part, I think
both of you are
wanna
from
do it.
Europe, but it's so different cities. I mean, country and cities, right? Because you have one like bikes.
Yeah, I mean, Paris is a lot of bike.
You live in Paris, you don't live in Monaco.
No, I live in Paris. I mean, and Monaco does a lot about sustainability and protection of the oceans and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, my uncle has a foundation that does a lot for the oceans and stuff.
Okay.
So we grew up, I think, as a generation, we grew up knowing that it is a very important matter. And for me, growing the brand, it was something that I really wanted to emphasize as a very important value in the brand.
Also because, I mean, at least for me, nature is so important. Also as a person, I'm like city nature. So it's a good way to always be reminded of what we're also creating and doing and having that as a consideration for sure.
So we have to feel.
Last question. I know you're saying that we have to finish. So you both came here to participate at Trancoso Moda Resort first edition. What could we expect for the second edition?
Us.
Well,
We're coming back for sure.
November 2016.
next year.
Drop 26.
Oh yeah, 26.
26.
SS 27.
She's gonna arrive in January.
No, we said we're gonna come like a month before, just to like scout the locations and you know.
I think we found our new like third home.
Yeah. It's perfect.
So what were
We're gonna knock on the door, you know, like,
Oh,
hi,
we're here.
it's us.
Remember?
Jonathan, can you open the door?
Yes. Oh no.
Ricky, go.
So I want to know two things for both. If you can give an advice to a young designer, younger than you both, and one question is the other question: what do you think the Brazilians, not you, the real
The
real.
Not the adopted
we
one.
didn't reach that level yet.
No.
Oh, okay.
Next year.
What do you think? What do you feel that before coming here to Bahia, and what do you expect from Brazil, and the image of Brazil abroad, and what did you see here? If the match or was totally different? So first, the advice for the
First, okay. I mean, for me, consistency and believing yourself. Yeah, and even if other people are not, like really consistency and following yourself, your gut feeling. And I think it's said a lot, but it's really, really true. It's really true. I think that's what my biggest advice is.
Because you have a lot of, steps to go and
Patience.
patience.
And it takes time.
And I'm not patient at all. I had to learn that. So I'm still learning also.
Now.
And not be afraid, you know, like...
But like, as you said, I think just follow your guts and I think follow your intuition. And women were very intuitive, so I think we should just...
very strong.
Just follow that.
Yeah, agree.
Good. And how about the Brazilian, the image?
The imaginary that you had from Brazil before coming here and what you saw with.
Yeah.
I imagine a lot of dancing.
So you have
and I saw that, so I was not disappointed.
Okay. Not at all.
No, but more seriously, I think people can have to come here to experience it because you can see it, you can hear from it, but you're very experiencing it.
But you bought a lot of pieces from Brazilian design.
I know.
Are you
have a
expecting to
shopping
have in the yes, you do, and you wore that like the pieces very well. Are you when you came here, you were expecting to have very good craftsmanship as you in styling.
I mean, I knew a little bit about it because I obviously did my research.
Okay.
but no, it's incredible too.
Incredible, right?
It's incredible. So many, and it's also I'm a very curious person, and I think that Brazilian customers are very curious as well. So I think it's a good exchange also.
And also the people. I mean, I meet so many Brazilians in Europe, so for me, it's just
But
like
Brazilian
coming.
women
You're
are
just
so
not Brazilians.
stylish.
Yes, I
You're
always say
surrounded by
Brazilians.
Brazilians. Rikke is
Non-stop.
surrounded by Brazilians.
Non-stop. Even I just did my second campaign. All Brazilians.
Oh.
So it's
In
calling
Paris.
you. It was calling you.
So they are
The
Brazilians.
passport was calling you, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna ask the girls
Passport.
to do a little fashion show.
To show your
Stand
product.
up. Can,
And
do
show
you
your
that
product.
camera, right? Oh, so it's
very hot in Bahia.
This is Rikke, very hot. She does these amazing pieces like special accessories that you can use a lot of ways and can make a look glow like
Playfulness.
playfulness. Okay, now.
Oh wow.
Oh, go ahead.
I can get
You're
full
gonna show it. You're gonna show
exercises. It's a very sporty.
I love
This
this.
is the sportiest piece that we have.
Yeah.
Oh.
How do you call this decote?
The neck collar.
This?
Yeah, no,
The
the one.
neckline.
It's not, yeah, you call swimwear. We call nadador.
Oh, it's like swimming.
Yeah,
Swimwear.
that's like this. In Brazil, it's called decote nadador.
Ah, okay.
beautiful.
Because when they go to the Olympics,
The crawl.
yeah, there's like this. You
We
see.
don't have a name for that, I think.
No.
You can use
Yeah.
the Brazilian.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can.
perfect. Right. Done.
So this was our first podcast in English. Reset podcast in English.
We hope we didn't make a lot of mistakes and that you guys could understand us.
Follow us. Como que fala compartilha?
Share.
Share us. Love us. Buy from us.
Yes, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
so much.
girls.
Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
So
We're
you
not
can-
leaving.
No, we're staying.
Not of this thing.